G'day everyone, my name is David Meyer and welcome back to First Time Reefer TV. And today I don't have my little sidekick, my co-host. Unfortunately, it is pretty late at night and he is well and truly in bed. So unfortunately, got to put it with this mug today and probably not so much cuteness. But thank you for all the messages saying how cute he is, and he'll be gutted that I'm doing this video, but I'll make it up with him by doing another one tomorrow. So as you see, the last couple of videos you guys have seen how I run the lighting on my tank, how I keep up with like the utmost of water clarity, and obviously fighting algae and bacteria and stuff like that with the Penta UV sterilizer. But today we are going to chat about the flow that's in my tank and how the flow actually helps keep the tank really, really clean. So stick around. So back at the tank now, obviously very heavy blues because it is late at night, and I have got a filter lens on, but this is how the tank sort of goes to bed towards the night. Now in here I have two Nero 5s providing all of my flow. So I've got one up over here, and I've got one on this side here, and I've also got an extra little Nero 3 here. And you're probably asking, what is a Nero 3? That is one of the prototypes that's going to be hitting the market that I've been testing on my tank here, as I mentioned in my previous video. And the Nero 3 is an awesome little pump, just a little bit smaller than the Nero 5. So for any of those little nano tanks, that's going to be the pump you have, because of the form factor is really tiny, and it's got heaps and heaps of output on it. So essentially the two Nero 5s, I'll show you how they're programmed soon, but one shoots across the front section here, one shoots across the back, and it just creates like this swirling motion in my tank. And then this one here in the front there, it's just to push that extra little bit of flow across the front of the coral here, just keep the detritus off the sand. Now you can install your pumps in many different ways, and it's just essentially what works for your reef. But most importantly, what you don't want is your flow to be directed directly at corals, because that'll be quite stressful for the coral with how much flow is hitting it, especially if you're running on a random mode where it can get quite high. And you do want the flow to be able to go around the coral though. So the one that I've got in the back corner there, that essentially pushes just the flow all across my SPS along the back there, and it gets them some really nice polyp action. If you just see up the top here, I know it is difficult to see, but you can see the action of the polyps there. It's just, there's water just blasting through it, but not directly at it. The flow on the gonnies here is just fantastic, and I love watching the flow on that. You know, they're reaching out, they're getting plenty of water around them, plenty of random movement, and they're definitely happy. The hammers are a little bit pissed because I just cleaned the glass for this video. So normally they've got some pretty nice action as well, but and you don't want detritus to build up in your tank, because detritus building up your tank means that there's going to be excess nitrate and phosphate in your tank, which is never a good thing. And you want your filters or your wave makers to keep everything suspended long enough so that it can go over your weir and down into your filter. So the thing I love about my Nero 5s is just how quick it is to connect to. So now I'll just get into the app quickly. So let's go down there into the My AI app. Brings up my tank, hit connect. Now I think because the Nero 3 is a prototype, it has taken a little bit longer to connect to for some reason, but usually 2 or 3 seconds and I'm pretty good. You got schedule in the left there, which is just running your schedule. Then you got feed mode over on the right top hand corner. That puts your pump into a feed mode. Pumps on, you can turn your pumps on 100% for a certain amount of time. So I'll turn it on here for 1 minute, and you'll probably see the amount of water that'll be moving. In a second, you can definitely see that up the top here. There's obviously a return in the back corner, but all that action there is just the two Nero 5s crashing into each other. And it's just stirring everything up in the tank now, as you can see. That just runs for a minute, or you can set it for 10 minutes, however long you want. or you can just, I like to run that first thing in the morning just to stir the tank up a little bit and help any detritus that sort of settled on the sand bed just to get over the weir and down into the filter. So you can hit schedule and that'll bring you back to schedule. And the pumps off is obviously just turning all your pumps off. Now you can go in here and work out the flow patterns that your pumps are currently in. So you can see the bottom left hand there is the 61% pump. That is the parent pump, and the other two are just slaves. So the fantastic thing about the Neros is you can set one parent pump and the others as slaves, and they just either follow what the parent does, or you can adjust it to do whatever you want essentially. So currently that one's running 6,900 liters per hour. If you go into edit, you've got all of these here. You've got constant speed, you've got random. I run all of my pumps on random mode. Then you've got a pulse, and this one's the child. So if you go into that, so if you go to the child, this is set as the child, and you'll see there the max speed. So the max setting of this pump is 61%, and the phase is 90. So that means it's just 90 degrees off what the parent pump is doing. So if the parent pump is 100%, this one will get to 100%, and then if it drops off down to 80%, this will have a 90-degree phase before it drops down to that 80%. So the parent-child is essentially chasing the parent pump. If you set that phase to 180, then it'll do the opposite of exactly what the other pump is doing, and then 360 will bring that back to obviously just doing exactly what the parent pump is doing. So I run this on a 90-degree phase, so it just keeps that wave pattern really random in the tank. You click done, you go back, you always, just to be sure, hit schedule, and that'll put everything back into schedule. So for once again, I'll show you guys 100%. The amount of flow in the tank is just, for two little pumps running on the back there and obviously a little one up the front, just an exceptional amount of flow. You see everything getting blown. Now you can see that there's not a lot settled on my sand at all. The sand is relatively clean, and that is just down to good flow, good wavemaker placement, and having a really open rockscape. So if you have a look at the back there, it's completely open underneath. So heaps of water can get around. There's not a lot of places for detritus to settle underneath. You know, it might look like it's stacked with coral, but it is relatively empty all along underneath there. So the flow gets around everything really well, and that's a really key component to keeping your tank clean and you know, keeping your water quality in check. Because if you've got a lot of detritus settling in your tank, it's not going to help your water quality. It's got to get over that weir, it's got to get into the filter, it's got to get filtered out with your filter socks or your roller mats, and get skimmed out as well. So you got to make sure your flow helps get over the end there. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about the flow that's going on inside my tank. And the Nero 5s are a fantastic wave maker. I highly recommend them. If you guys have any questions about this Nero 3 that is coming out, leave a comment down in the comment sections down below if there's anything you want to know about it. And my little boy's awake now, so he's going to join us for the next video. But like I said, if you like this video, smash that like button. Please subscribe, because there is plenty of content still to come. And my friends, until next time, peace.